Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome CEO and Executive Director, Josh Habursky.
Said I would walk a little slower because I like this song so much. Welcome PCA 2026. We are ready for an incredible show. Back-to-back New Orleans. Last year we had the governor come on stage and light up the first cigar. I see all of you have lit up cigars already. We had dinner with the governor on Tuesday, and they have welcomed us to this city in an immense way. We're going to be back here in 2029. So, New Orleans is going to definitely show you a good time. You're going to get to enjoy cigars, food, culture, learn a little bit today. And I'll tell you what, by the education session, the volume of people that are here, I can tell that our team, our board of directors and staff have put together an incredible program for all of you. And one of the things that I want to note in this program, a lot of it is integrated into different activities of the association. We are a 365 association. We are the epicenter of the cigar world this week, but we are fighting the advocacy front along with our partners like Cigar Rights of America. We had a big win this week, which is also very important. There's a lot of momentum going into this show, and we want to keep this enthusiasm. So we're going to get everybody liquored up in the beginning and have some rum and cigars. We're going to watch, I'll tell you what, I got a free Padron from George already, so we're off to a good start. And then we have the hospitality sessions with more rum discussion, as well as the Dean of FIU, which, as some of you may know, I'm at FIU. It's finals week 2, so we're juggling a lot there, but we're honored to have Dean Chang here, moderating a panel talking about hospitality. We have our author, Nick Hammond, who's doing the book Around the World in 80 Cigars. And then we have the keynote session with Cigar Aficionado, and then like 50 parties this evening. So buckle up for a wild ride. I'm proud to introduce our Director of International Affairs and Education, Ricardo Carioni. Ricardo.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a delightful pleasure, a privilege, and a deep honor to be here with you all today. Allow me to express our gratitude on behalf of all of us at the PCA for taking the time and joining us today. It's a very special session. We're kicking off the whole series. As I was woke up this morning at daybreak, Josh and I had an engagement really early at dawn, and it dawned upon me, not pun intended, that when we do this session today with La Aurora translates in English as dawn. And if we think about it, the dawn of the Dominican premium cigar culture and industry since 1903 is La Aurora. So that privilege to be here with these two fantastic gentlemen, Manuel Hinoa, Master Blender of La Aurora. Big round of applause, please, from Manuel. We have Tony Suarez, National Sales Director of León Jimenes Rums. I can see around, and most of us already have our cigars lit, so we've done well. I invite you to continue enjoying smoking that cigar. We want this session, in the amount of time that we have allowed, to be as engaging and interactive as possible. Ultimately, it is a pairing, and we couldn't have better people to help us through this pairing and guide it and give you their insights and knowledge of the beautiful cigar that we're smoking, the Fuerte Sol from the family creed, and the fantastic Eduardo León Jimenes Rum. But before we get started, so as much as you can, hold on that rum for a bit, because we'll get to it, and we'll see how that marriage between tobacco y ron, my personal opinion, the best pairing in the world. Thank you, Manuel. Let's start with you. Don Manuel, the first time I visited the Dominican Republic, you welcomed me with that smile of yours, with that energy, with that warm embrace, and you changed my life. So for that, I will always be grateful. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that can thank this man for all the fantastic things he does day in and day out at that factory and around the world. For La Aurora, and not just for La Aurora, who are architects of our industry, but all over the world. So thank you very much, Manuel.
Thank you, Ricardo, for having us here. It's a pleasure to be with the teams, all the people that's coming today. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, Manuel, I know the León Jimenes family, they have a family creed. And this cigar, the Fuerte Sol, I would love for you to tell us a little bit of how coming up with something new, something that speaks to an audience, its anchor, and how it relates to that creed. Tell us about that family creed, Fuerte Sol. Tell us about that legacy, please.
Oh, yeah, that's the legacy is a family creed that we have at the family, no, in our booth. And together with the team for LUSA, Aurora will say, we work together bringing something that is adapted to the American market. And we was working hard, hand to hand, to bring a different things that we do in La Aurora.
So you're innovating, talking to an audience, talking to the American audience specifically.
Yeah.
So that led you to quite a few firsts for La Aurora. I mean, I'm holding this cigar, and it's a box press cigar.
Oh,
Tell
yeah.
us a little bit about some of these firsts for you and for La Aurora with this cigar.
That you know, La Aurora never do cigar box presses. Always it's rounded. We do some box presses just for small batch and things like that, not to the total release on the market. So the team came with a concept to do a box press for the whole entire market. So what's a very, very hard compromise because we need to improve a nice box press that the people love it. So with the guidance with the teams, we find out the right box press that we want to bring it to the American people. And I think we got it.
Well, I mean, I think all of us will agree. I mean, this cigar, I had the pleasure of smoking it the first time in Miami, actually in Fort Lauderdale, with the Florida International University Executive Program, and we had the team there and we smoked this cigar. And I have to say, having been an importer and distributor for this brand in the United Kingdom, I see that evolution, and it fills me with joy and pleasure, so thank you for doing so. Now, another thing is, I'm looking at this wrapper, and it looks a bit different to what I'm used to see in the past from La Aurora. Tell us a little bit about the blend. What were you trying to achieve? Tell us your intent as a master blender, bringing different tobaccos, and what were you trying and what you have been able to achieve in conveying to cigar lovers around the world?
Well, we have a lot of type of tobacco in the factory. Whenever we use the San Andres wrapper in one of our line, and the team together say, hey, why we don't came with a San Andres wrapper? Okay, why not? We got it. We have a bunch of tobacco there. The most complicated thing is to match a nice blend with that wrapper. And then inside with some Nicaraguan binder and some Dominican and American filler, we can do the magic. And if you tell me I tried, yes, I tried. But the final decision is my team in USA. And they say, I think this is it. Let's do that one. We tried several different prototypes. All of them was great for me because I never worked with that type of wrapper for the market. And finally, they take the decision. We got in the top 25.
So you never stop learning. That's the beauty of this, right? I mean,
That's the beauty of tobacco. You never stop learning. Always you need to learn something new. Always. That's the beautiful job that I have.
That's what we loved, and the fact that, yes, I mean, if anybody tells you they know everything, run away from them. Because this is a man that for so many decades have been doing this, and he's learning how to work with Mexican tobacco, and look what you've done. Precious masterpiece. Now, as people have been smoking the cigar, some of you already getting to your second, third, I know you're very florid, and you're very special way of describing the flavors and what people feel when they smoke the cigars. But from your perspective, from your palate, Manuel, tell us a bit, what will you be feeling? What would people potentially are tasting when they're smoking that cigar in terms of the notes that you can describe and so on?
Yeah, my team was talking about power, strength. And everybody that know me know that I'm a fan of flavor profile. And I'm always traveling all over the world teaching people how to get those flavors. And the more easy flavor that you can pick together, alone, let's say this first, alone, it's you have a nice spicy, peppering, some vanilla, some coffee, chocolate. It's a very complex flavor inside that you enhance with the beautiful rum that they have in hands.
Which is a very perfect segue, because I mean, at the end of the day, we're pairing it, and yes, you feel that with the cigars by itself, but when it comes into marrying that, and beautifully put, Manuel, thank you so much. So now that some of you perhaps are already starting to sip a little bit of that rum, I want to bring in Tony. What is that marriage looking like, Tony, do you think right now? What is it feeling like to you as you're drinking that rum and smoking this cigar?
Well, it's a wonderful question, and just to break it down, and well, has everyone had a chance to drink the rum yet, or no? All right. If I could, just real quick. Some of the best ways to drink rum, or any spirit that is, in the years I've been in this industry, obviously, it starts with your nose, just like in the cigar. Then it's followed by the taste, or actually your mouth, which leads to taste, which leads to flavor, right? So I'm gonna invite everybody right now, really quickly, to just grab your glass if you haven't already. Take, with your mouth open, just like you do with cigars. Take a nice deep breath in. Breathe it out. Do it one more time. Now I need you to taste it. Take a nice sip. Now take it again. Coat that mouth. Now you're really going to identify a lot of things, right? First you have your nose, which is going to give you aroma, and in that aroma right away what you got for sure was vanilla. I mean, hands down, vanilla and caramel right away. It's a beautiful aroma to start with. In your taste and in that flavor, you basically had a bit of sweet, a bit of spicy, you know, that pepper feel, that feel in the tip of your tongue as well. And then that finish, which this rum has, is a very elegant but yet complex finish that you feel all over your mouth being coated. Now, when you marry that with a cigar, you're obviously going to get, if you're doing them both at the same time, you're going to get a lot of that cocoa. You're going to get a lot of that leather. You're going to get a lot of that wood and nut combined on the two. So it makes for a fantastic pairing. And there's reasons why, but we'll get into that later.
Totally. Well, thank you for describing that, and we'll open it up to the audience, and we'll love to hear some questions and thoughts on what we're describing here. But look, coming from in my case, from Nicaragua, a very rum-oriented country, I'm very curious of the process of this rum, because it's not just any process. I think the way you've been able to distill this and the way you've treated this beautiful guarapo from the sugarcane that it came from and so on. Tell us a little bit about the process to create this rum in terms of the process itself, please.
It's a beautiful rum, needless to say. And if many of you or those of you here who know a little bit about rum, you know there's traditional ways of characterizing rum, right? You've got English rum, you've got Spanish rum, and you got French rums, right? And they all historically had their traditional way of being made, right? English rum was usually molasses and pot still distillation. Spanish rums were molasses and column still distillation. French rums were agricole, guarapo, and column still distillation, right? So that's the past. And you're gonna realize now that most rums are venturing out different ways, right? And a lot of it is about the family philosophy, about the family legacy. And to start about the process, you gotta talk a little bit about legacy as well, right? This rum was a passion project of Guillermo León Jimenes to find that perfect sipping rum that goes well with La Aurora cigars. And there's, through many iterations, came up with this rum. That's why it's called 110 Aniversario also, to celebrate in 2013, the 110 years when this rum was launched, of the start of La Aurora in 1903. Going back to the process of rums, if you know, there's molasses-based rums, and there's sugarcane or guarapo-based rums. We are sugarcane. We are freshly pressed sugarcane juice that goes straight into fermentation, then straight into column distillation, 5-column distillation. From there, it goes into aging. And what's unique about aging? Rums, you have Solera style, which is a blend of different years from different barrels, right? And then you have linear aging, which is very similar to what you see in Scotland with single malts, where if you see a single malt that has an age statement on it of 12 years, the youngest drop of liquid in that bottle is 12 years old, right? We follow linear aging law, or we follow linear aging rules. There are really no laws in rum, for that matter. So we do not do solera. We age everything together. So now you're looking at a rum that's been aging 8 years in ex-American barrels, and the final 2 years in ex-French oak barrels, right? So 10 years minimum of aging in the rum that you're drinking right now. So again, different styles and different traditions apply to make this beautiful rum.
That's fascinating. Thank you very much for educating me. I say guarapo. It's actually the sugar cane, so thank you. You see, this is where we come to learn from the real masters. I'm curious, how long did it take that process for the family to arrive to this blend? Was it a long process? I mean, tell us, how long did it take? How many years? Or if you can, disclose that.
Family secret, and it took a long time and a lot of drinking.
Lots of
But
drinking, I can imagine.
It was pleasurable years, I'm sure.
Fantastic. Now, I think many of us love, we think, what's your favorite pairing? So what's your favorite pairing when it comes into drinks, Manuel?
Oh, of course, our baby. We had 2 rum, on the 10th anniversary and 103 anniversary too. So both are outstanding. The one that we're drinking today is for pairing any cigar. It's for cigar lover. We created for that. But for sure, if you know the recipe for the rum, and I know the recipe for the cigars, the pairing need to be perfect. That's the reason why they had both projects today in his hand.
What do you think that these two expressions of our culture, because it's more than a product, this is essentially that Caribbean, Latin American culture coming to something that we can all enjoy and share. Why do they go so well together? What is it about us that fascinates us and we enjoy so much when we want to pair with something that we go to that bottle of rum? What do you think that is?
Well, it takes time to find out, to tune in the flavor profile or the rum or the cigars. So it's a little bit complicated. It's not like we put in the paper, because you need to try, always to try to find out good thing that the people can understand it at the moment that they smoke. That's the reason why people love one drink, but need to know the drinks to enjoy the cigars.
That's interesting. Now, and I think, obviously the soil and the terroir and the land, right? It's almost like they speak to each other in such a beautiful language that is just subliminal, really, to enjoy. I'm curious to bring it a little bit back to the process of developing a cigar to a specific audience. We're here in the United States. You mentioned how the team here in the Americas had a very important role in the development of this blend, and not just the blend, but the ring and the design and the box. Could you share with a little bit that process? Because that's a little bit of a difference, right, to the way you're working usually.
Oh yeah, yes. But something brand new for me, because always we discuss the blend that we can every time we go out with some new products. Guillermo and I talk what do we want, what did he say, and this time Guillermo say, "Hey, you need to follow the flavor profile of the team of USA because they know what the people are asking for over here. I can do marbles, but maybe you don't like it. I need to come with something unique that the people really love in America. And the team have a very good profile of the American smoke. So take time, I say, at least 1 year and a half, trying to get the right one, waiting for some crops that we need to use it. We have in the portfolio, but we never use it in the blends for our products. This is the reason why we take a little bit more time looking for his palate, his flavor profile he's looking for.
And in that process of learning and exchanging that understanding of this palate in this country, what were some of the key lessons you took away? So if you were to try to now describe what is it that palate is looking for, let's say compared to Spain or England, which is a different kind of profile, what is the uniqueness of such a developed palate with such a wide range of cigars that you can all smoke? How will you encapsulate that? How will you convey that palate of the American palate?
Okay, European people have a different flavor profile that they're looking for, different strains too. American is more complex, more complexity, more things. Always is hungry to find out new thing and balance. Not need to be a cigar that is a regular cigar. Need to a special cigar that always they want to choose. So, and that's part was complicated for me, but we have a good team that was working behind me. This is it, this is not. At the starting, we do so many wrapper on it, but they say, no, we need to go to San Andre. Why San Andre? Because San Andre brings you a very unique flavor profile at the moment they smoke. A little bit spicy, earthy, a very nice touch of honey. That combine it perfectly with the rest of the leaf if you do the right one.
That's really interesting, that collaborative process, because every factory and every blending style of different companies and families, and in this case, sounds like it was very much a collaborative approach. So you bring that experience, you bring that knowledge, but it was a brainstorming ability to be able to listen and adapt and learn in that process, right?
Exactly. You always need to be a worker team. It's the only way that you'll be successful. If you don't look like that, you can do something for you that say, oh, this is outstanding for me, but maybe you don't want to smoke it, and then you don't have nothing. I want something that people really love. I hope you enjoyed the cigar today.
Could you raise your hands or clap if you're enjoying this cigar, please?
Nice. Beautiful.
So I don't wish to monopolize the questions here. I don't want to be too greedy. I could keep on asking questions and take it all for myself and be selfish. But I do wish to open it to the audience here. If there's any questions, I mean, this is a unique opportunity to have the masterminds, to have those that have developed this fantastic product. So please raise your hand if you would like to ask a question from this fantastic gentleman. Do not be shy, please.
Someone right over there. I think someone's going around with a microphone potentially.
Testing, testing. I would like to ask everyone on stage what your favorite part of the family creed is.
Please, take it away, good sir. What's your favorite part of the family creed?
What do you mean? The family creed entire or just the for the salt cigar? Because in the family creed, on the dad's umbrella, we are working in 4 different cigars that are coming soon to you. That's the first one. Tomorrow we will announce the second ones. So I want that you specific more clear the question to be sure what answer I will give it to you.
Do you mean in terms of the creed as a family, what they are, or more specifically about the lines? What is it? The cigars. Okay.
The cigars. Oh, the cigars, always I need to divide the cigar in thirds. First thirds, second thirds, and the last thirds. Each part talk to you something different. I love a dynamic cigar that changes over the smoke. A boring cigar is a cigar that are always giving the same. Let's say if you are smoking with a spicy cigar, I'm always giving spicy, spicy, spicy. That's not good. Cigar need to have transition, change time to time. Each part tells a story, that the Aurora story behind. So for this reason, when you smoke on the first third, something happened. Then at the second third, another thing happened. And like everything of the world, at the end, is the best.
So wait till the end for that cigar. And this is what I love. I mean, to me, you're an artist that perhaps you don't know a great composer of music or a great writer of books, but this is your art form and this is your way with the family and your team to express yourself.
Exactly. If you don't put passion in it, at the end you don't have nothing.
Well
you need to
put.
put the passion and people understand what is behind, what is the legacy behind. 1903, my friend, we are still alive. Somebody say we do some good job, right?
I think so.
So that line represents top of the top for now that we do for all over the world. I believe that.
Well, look, Tony, Manuel, we could spend hours. We could spend the whole day here with you, picking your brains and picking your hearts and taking that passion from you and sharing with the rest. But fortunately, we only have so much time. So I want to express on behalf of all of us here who've been listening to you our sincerest gratitude for your time, for your energy, for sharing something so special with everyone. And I want to ask everyone just a final round of applause for these fantastic gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, my friend.